Hello everyone, welcome back to the Code Syndicate. In this video, we will discuss about arrays in Rust. So without wasting time, let's begin. In last video, we have talked about tuples in Rust. If you haven't watched that video, do check that video first. Like tuples, arrays are also of fixed size. That means once you declare an array, you cannot resize it to add or remove elements. If you are wondering what is the difference between tuple and arrays, arrays cannot store dynamic data. If you can recall, in our previous video, we have stored a boolean value, an integer, and a float in a single tuple. But in case of array, this is not possible. You can store only one type of data. Now let's see how we can declare an array with and without mentioning data types. To declare an array, we write let array colon. Now we need to mention data types and number of elements we will store in this array. For this, inside square bracket, we write data type of this array. For this case, I am using I32 and followed by semicolon and number of elements. In this case, I am going to store 4 I32 types equal inside of square bracket. Now here we need to declare all elements. Let's say 23, 14, 97 and 63. To see this array in the terminal, let's print this. Run the code. Here, the entire array is printed here. Now, let's see how we can declare an array without mentioning the data type. For this, we write let array equal inside of square bracket. We simply write the elements here. Let's say 32, 15, 23, and 54. Run this code. Here we go. Now, let's say we want to have an array with the same value but multiple times. Let's say we want to store number 10 5 times. For this, we can simply write 10 5 times. Let's see this running the code. Now, to achieve this, we have a shortcut in Rust. For this, we can write 10 and semicolon followed by the number of times we want these elements in the array. That is 4 times. Now let's run this code. And here you can see we have got array. Now let's check mutability in Rust arrays. As I have said earlier, it is not possible to add or remove elements from an array once it is declared. But Rust do provide the facility to modify the elements of the array. Make sure you cannot change the data type of the element. Let's check this in code. Now let's change this array. Now, before checking mutability of an array, we need to know that arrays in Rust are arranged in an order, and this order starts with 0. So, this first element is index 0 of this array, and this second element is index 1, index 2, and index 3. So, to modify any element, we need to know the index of that element. So, In this case, we want to modify this third element of this array. For that, we need to know the index of this element. As index starts with 0, so 0, 1 and 2. So this element is of index 2. To modify this, first we need to make this variable mutable. As I have said previously, any variable in Rust is by default unmutable, and to make any variable mutable, we need to add mute keyword after the let keyword and before the name of the variable. In this case, we need to write this mute keyword after this let keyword and before the name of the variable. Now this array is mutable. So to change this third element, we need to write array inside of this square bracket. We need to provide the index of the element equal. Now we need to change this 57 to 45. So let's write 45. Now run this code. Here you can see in third element we got 45. So this array is updated successfully. By the same way, we can change this 0th index or this 4th index. Basically, you can change elements of any index in an array. But make sure you cannot add elements to the array. Let's say we have 4 elements here. And if we want to add the 5th element, that is in the index 4, we will get an error. Here you can say index out of bound. So this is not possible in Rust. Now quickly I want to show you how you can achieve the length of an array. For this we need to call the len method of the array. For this we write dot len and parentheses. We need to change this also. Now let's run this code. Now here we got some warning. For now let's ignore this and see we got the answer, that is 4. So this was a brief introduction to arrays in Rust. We will learn more about array as we move forward with this series. That is it for this video. If you like the video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I will see you in the next video.